Hi everyone, hello everyone, assalamu alaikum. This is video number 15. Quick recap, this evolution nonsense is a scientific philosophy, scientific theology. Basically, Darwinian theory of evolution is based on assumptions and within a probabilistic framework. You can check out YouTube channel Darwinian Delusions, and Subur Ahmed explains all this in more detail in regarding the problem of homology and versus homoplasy. They are all technical terms, but if you check out Darwinian Delusions YouTube channel, you can get more details. Also, if you see the YouTube videos by Stephen Meyer in regarding his books Signature in the Cell and Darwin's Doubt, and there's also Darwin's Dilemma in regarding, I think, the Cambrian explosion they refer to. Basically, you see, natural selection and random mutations. So let's talk about random mutations regarding Darwinian theory of evolution. You see, random mutations within cells within a organism basically cannot come up with new information, meaning more. So, for example, don't forget, if a fly has 2 trillion cells and the fly wants to become a butterfly, and say, example, the butterfly needs or has 5 trillion cells, then the fly needs extra 3 trillion cells, and that's not going to happen. You see what I mean? Also, the fly, cells being mutated within the fly will basically corrupt the DNA, and basically the fly will become ill and eventually face death. So, random mutations doesn't actually work. As for natural selection, again, survival, surviving and reproducing, or reproducing and surviving, again, it's very weak, and it's basically encourages survival of the strong. So a million wasps, killing each other, and the biggest wasp will survive, or a million ants killing each other, and the biggest ant will survive. I mean, this is, obviously Darwin didn't talk about all this when it's applied to humans. Basically what Joseph Stalin did, and also Adolf Hitler did, as they adopted the Darwinian theory of evolution. I think there's a book called From Darwin to Hitler. I can't remember the writer's name, but if you search on YouTube or Google, you'll find it. Now, yes, regarding similarities in the DNA, of course, it's about compatibility. We, of course, have to, and we do share genetic information. So, example, 60% of the banana's DNA matches with mine. So that doesn't mean my great-great-great-great-grandmother was a banana. I mean, that just sounds ridiculous. So the similarities in the DNA, the sharing of the genes and DNA is so, I could eat chicken curry and digest the food. So I can eat watermelon, I can eat banana, and I can digest the food. And so can the chimpanzee, the ape, and other animals. But one thing, let me clarify one thing. Look, we are separate from the animals. The children of Adam are separate from the animals. This is very important to understand. And evolution before Darwin just means biological change over time. So observations, example, a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, a tadpole becoming a frog, a small infant child becoming an adult, over time. And also, let's talk about, similarities in the DNA is about compatibility, is to do with food and digesting the food. That's all. There is no evidence. Like I said, Darwinian theory of evolution is based on assumptions, and there is no concrete evidence in regards to being his theory 100%. And as for random mutations and natural selection, they are very weak. They are a scientific model, but they are very weak. And don't forget, there are alternative. Subur Ahmed talks in his videos on his channel, Darwinian Delusions. There are alternative methods to the Darwinian theory of evolution. So don't forget. So carrying on. You see, right now and in the past as well, the devil, Satan, is laughing at people like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, Daniel Dennett. And I know they don't believe in the devil, they don't believe in Satan, but don't forget, Satan, the biggest trick Satan, the devil, pulled is to convince those kind of people, such as Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, that it doesn't exist. So then it's easy for the devil to influence with his negative whispers. And I believe, he encouraged Charles Darwin to write The Origin of the Species, which is a very speculative book. Yes, The Origin of the Species is a very speculative book. So is the, Common Descent, I think the other book he wrote. And by the way, the Common Descent book by Charles Darwin is very racist. Yes, so let's look at evolution before Darwinism, before Charles Darwin. And what do we see? It's just evolution, change over time. That's it. That's all. You could give it a different name: evolution, developmental change over time. Yeah, I was going to say, let's, for argument's sake, say evolution is true. Say, Darwinian mechanism really works well. Random mutation, and you become a different creature altogether. So then, I would like to, fly like an eagle, swim like a shark, and run like a cheetah, and withstand minus 90 in the Antarctic, such as the polar bear does. And if I could do all that, and if evolution is true, then I would really become a superhuman. I mean, that would be awesome, seriously. But hey, look, it never happened. And so the evolutionist like Richard Dawkins will say, it takes millions of years. How convenient. Now, what about the influenza virus? We know every year the influenza virus, the cold virus, and similar viruses like that, every year they become stronger. And so other scientists will say, there you go, evolution in action. The viruses are becoming stronger, and they are becoming more resistant to antibiotics, and therefore antibiotics are not working, etc., etc. You see my point? So, we need to reflect, we need to think. The Creator Allah says in the Quran that whatever information comes to you, you need to, investigate it. You don't just take, the scientist's word for it. Investigate it, verify it, think about it, and then, make a decision about the information. This is very important. One thing is clear. Islam is the truth from the Creator Allah. Why Islam? Read the Quran, English translation by M.A.S. Abdul Halim, and read the book Divine Reality by Hamzan Resources. Also read Signature in the Cell and Darwin's Doubt, and also check out Darwinian Delusions YouTube channel, Subur Ahmed, and you will understand in regards to the evolution. Basically, it's just a scientific theory, a working model. Like I said, Darwinian theory of evolution, its mechanism is very weak. It doesn't actually work. There are alternative methods to his theory. And so keep an open mind. What I'm trying to say is read the Quran in a language you understand, keep an open mind, and come to Islam. Save the real you. The real you is your soul, not your earthly body. So save yourself from hellfire, from punishment. And having said all this, the Creator Allah knows best. Having said all this, and having said everything in my other videos, having said everything in all my videos, the Creator Allah knows best. One more time. Having said all this, and having said